Hi guys! So I've had some requests to do a tutorial about a night sky painting and how to do that. Now, I don't know if I also had some requests to do a galaxy or a space painting, so I might do a separate video on that, but this one I'm just going to be showing you how to do a basic night sky painting. And this is the reference photo that I'm going to be using. You can probably apply this method to pretty much any one that you find, but a lot of them have different colors in them, but you know, if you guys want me to make one with a different color scheme, then I can do that. I also apologize for the lighting. I don't have any lamps here because I am sitting in my living room and I have only the skylight because it's the best lighting for painting, and it's casting a shadow on my face. So the colors I'm going to be using for this one are pretty simple. I've got my basic white and blacks. I've got big tubs of them because I use it a lot. Ultramarine blue and navy blue. Now this one, I don't know where you can, I'm sure you can get a navy blue at Michael's or any arts and crafts store, maybe even a large Walmart, but I got a gigantic tub of acrylic paints like this in these bottles at like Goodwill for a few bucks, so I've got a lot of these. But this one you could definitely find in Walmart, and you could find the white and the blacks in Walmart. And I have my large palette here that's obviously been used a ton. And this, so I can wipe the paint on my brush off on that, and I just use this a ton. And I've got my all my paint brushes and my paint water in this thing. You probably cannot use this method with watercolors, but you might be able to with oil paint. I've actually never tried oil paint, so who knows. But acrylic is what I am using, and it's probably harder than oil paint, honestly, considering it dries faster, but it's what I have a ton of. I'm also still sick, so my voice is still a little trying to recover. Also, I've done a lot of sky paintings. Here are some of them that I have done, especially recently. I love them, and they're really easy to do, actually. It's a pretty good beginner's thing to try and do. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is get this little nifty thing and put my colors on there. You don't need a lot of acrylic paint. I just put a little at a time because if you waste it, it's a lot of money because this stuff is expensive. I'm going to take this large filbert brush, or medium-sized filbert brush, and I'm going to mix in some black with navy to do the edges around the top here, because in the reference photo it's pretty dark, it's almost black, but there's still a hint of blue to it, so I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to mix some ultramarine blue with it. See how I'm taking it, and I'm taking the black, this, and then this, mixing it together like this. You can do night sky paintings multiple ways, but I just do it this way. This is my own way I've done it. I've never watched a tutorial of anybody do it. I just kind of looked at the reference photos and I just started doing it. Now, as we start getting more towards the middle of the painting, I'm going to use just straight up ultramarine blue, and it will mix in with the black and the navy, which is already on my brush. I want to mix it in. I'm going to dip my brush in the water and use water to make it spread out more. This is just the first coat. You will probably have to go over it a couple times. See how you can still see the white of the canvas through it. Unless you like that style, then you can leave it, but I usually try to make it a pretty thick layer like this. also, while the paint is wet, I'm going to take my white and dab through here. Like this. Just kind of spread it out like that and wipe all the white off, and then just I also like to take my white like this, put some over in a separate place, and I like to really, really water it down for this. Just like, and then I take a little, and I just for this bottom part, I'm mixing together blue, navy blue, white, and a little bit of black to create a kind of grayish tone. Now, I'm not going to paint the very bottom because there are trees there, and I want to just not, I don't want to waste paint on something I want to go ahead and paint black over anyways. So I just go far enough down to where I know the trees will cover it. And then that's where I'm going to use black for my silhouette. Okay, now I've kind of got my base down, and I want to start worrying about the white that goes across through here above the trees. I'm going to take my white and then my navy and then just mix it together and then add a bunch of water. Okay, now that I've got this down, like this base down, here comes my favorite part, and pretty much the last part, other than drawing the trees in the black. I'm going to make sure I've got enough white. I'm going to add some more. And for this, you're going to need an old toothbrush. You could probably use a paintbrush and just flick it with the paintbrush, but this I found works the best for me. So I'm going to take my old toothbrush that I have right here, and I'm going to dip it in my white paint, get it really covered, dip my paintbrush back into the water so it's got a kind of drip, and now I'm going to take it and I'm going to just take my thumb, and I just dropped a bunch on the floor. Just take my thumb and kind of I don't put as many down here because this is where it's kind of like the skyline and the sun has just set in this photo and there's not as many stars there, so I'm going to put more up here towards the top. So now my next step is I'm going to take this one that has an edge to it, like a really pointed edge, and I'm going to take it and drag it. I'm going to take it and do that with all these, not all of them, but with some of these bigger blobs of paint. And it makes kind of a twinkle-like effect. Now you don't have to do this, but in my opinion, I think it makes the painting look better and prettier. Now that you've added as many of these as you like, it's time to move on to the trees, which you probably don't even have to watch me do, but if you want to know how I do those, you can watch me do those. I take my big filbert brush and I just go over the bottom with a layer of black. Now I'm going to take this brush, which is my fan effect brush, my large one, and I'm going to dip it in the black, and I'm going to use it to make my trees. You just kind of dot around with these to make the tree effect, because it makes clumps of leaves. And that's how you get a pretty simple night sky type painting. This one is this is not the best one I've ever done, for sure. I've definitely done way better ones. This is just the basics of how to make one, so you can make one and put your own silhouettes or whatever you want in it, or you can add different colors or anything like that. I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and especially to the person who requested I do this. Some other people have requested that I do space or galaxy painting tutorials, and I've done those a lot in the past, painting those, so that would be a fun thing that I could do. They're a little bit more tricky, have a little bit more color, you know, things like that, but they're fun. Also, I have a lot of other videos that are going to be coming up, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to draw faces and capture likeness, which is a very hard thing to do, but it's also very important when doing drawn portraits. Leave more things in the comments below of tutorials you want me to do. I do anything drawn, painting, stuff like that. I will even do digital tutorials if anybody wants me to. That'd be a little bit trickier, but I will do those. I've also just finished a digital pen drawing of Jack and Sally, and you can see that right here, and you can go check that out on my Redbubble where I'm selling it on, you know, t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, iPad cases, laptop sleeves, pillows, just anything like that. If you want to go and check that out, they're pretty cheap. It would help me out a lot to buy, I need money to buy art supplies. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you. Bye! Do you notice a difference in the quality of this video?
Hi guys, so yesterday I recorded
And the difference of the quality of my voice. I've been sick. I now can record drawing videos again. If you guys have any drawing tutorials you want me to do,